Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we take your unique stack of source material and unlock the unexpected truths hidden inside.
And today's stack is, well, it's a journey.
It really is. We're wading into this really personal, funny, and complicated collection of reflections, all about that feeling we call the Christmas spirit.
It's an incredible set of documents. I mean, it covers everything from these highly specific childhood rituals to moments of deep personal crisis.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to figure out how these, seemingly separate threads, how they all weave together to define the messy, complicated nature of being human during the holidays.
Absolutely. And we have to start where the source material started, with a question that it perfectly captures that mix of whimsy and melancholy we all feel. Merry Christmas to everyone who is alive. But does Merry Christmas extend to ghosts?
It forces you to take this genuinely metaphysical pause, doesn't it?
It really does.
We usually imagine ghosts as, these lonely figures. The source said they're just doing vowels, just moaning behind a tree or something.
Right, but never as a community. Never as, and I'm quoting here, dope-ass ghost friends who are vaping and laughing together.
Exactly. If there's a holiday party in the spirit world, we are definitely not on the guest list.
And that idea, that question, it immediately pivots to a very physical, a very human need, the need for a hug.
We found that fascinating. The sources describe this intense longing for connection. They even gave it names.
The penguin hug.
The penguin hug, or the perverted butterfly hug, which is just, a hug that lasts a little too long.
Right, but there's this huge internal barrier to actually asking for one.
A huge barrier.
Because as the source so perfectly put it, I ain't no ho, 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 ho.
So instead of just communicating, you get this behavior, this self-described act of loitering right around your arms and chest, just waiting for the other person to make the first move.
All while making sure that any other time of year you are a total cactus, just prickly and completely unreachable.
It's vulnerability, but it's expressed through avoidance.
And this is all happening while the music is setting the mood. We noted the commentary on how the radio gets very Latino this time of year.
And that contrast in the mood setting is so important. You get the sacred message of the newborn king and all that spiritual reflection.
And then it's immediately smashed up against these modern tracks with, let's say, less than heavenly themes.
The tension is very real.
It is. Newborn king. That's what's up, bro. Last night we let the liquor talk.
And that is the spirit we're unpacking. The need for both the sacred and the messy, all at once.
And nothing captures that better than memory.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's get into segment 1, which is all about nostalgia, and specifically this Christmas Eve memory that comes from the song Christmas Miracle by One Man Quartet.
The scene they describe is just so transportive. I mean, the source talks about this magical ambiance. The house is dark, maybe a candle is lit.
Right.
And there's that feeling in the energy downstairs just waiting for Santa to arrive.
It's the mission, the sneaking mission. Around 10:30 at night, Christmas Eve, you're sneaking downstairs with your siblings, and you all get jammed up at the bottom of the stairs in your pajamas.
And that one peek at the living room, it reveals this whole sibling dynamic, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. The older brother immediately assumes jurisdiction.
He takes control of the narrative.
And he uses it to just lie to the little sisters, who, as the source noted, didn't have any rights or whatever at the time because they were women also.
He's telling them Santa's already been there. Or maybe he won't come at all because they were bad.
It's just a perfect, if a little cruel example of the power hierarchy in a family.
But the truly defining detail, the thing that shows how just weird family life can be, is that anecdote about the brother's eyesight.
Yes, this is so specific. The fact he had bad eyesight and had to splash water in his eyes every 40 minutes to correct his eye levels.
Even timing it so he wouldn't miss the candles right before blowing them out on his birthday.
And here's where it gets really interesting. The speaker connects that random detail to their own habit now.
Yeah, that they drizzle about 1/11 of a cup of water on any leftovers before they microwave them.
Lasagna, a piece of bread.
Whatever's going on, yeah.
This isn't just a funny story. It's a revelation about how we inherit these habits.
Yeah.
You're subconsciously doing this ritual of care that you saw as a kid, but for something totally different.
Right, from eyesight to reheating food, it shows how our deepest memories are anchored by these strange, specific family quirks.
And the memory ends with that magic. Seeing the tree lights, the colored ones that usually look cheesy, but now they look mysterious and nighttimey.
And just the sheer possibility of the next day.
That moment, that's what carries us forward. So now let's shift gears. We're moving from intimate memory to broader community trends, all set to the beat of Hip Hop Ready for Christmas by Zorro.
We're now in the world of the annual challenge.
November.
Right. The source mentioned Movember, joking it was for epilepsy. No Nut November, 40 Fart March, Sober October.
And the slightly modified 16 June for seizures. It seems like we need this kind of seasonal structure for self-improvement.
We do. And we got 3 really fascinating listener submissions that show the range.
The first one was from Phoenix, the climate challenge, Nober October.
Where it's just so hot that nobody gets cold and people are like involuntarily forced to wear no shirt on Halloween.
And then there were the more abstract ones.
Like the seasonal observance of 40 Queef Kwanzaa.
These really show how people creatively structure their focus during the year.
But the one that really links back to our theme of self-control was the Every Day of May challenge.
Right, the caller pushing for 100 or 500 daily push-ups.
Because that challenge is specifically designed to reboot your motivation after your big New Year's resolutions have already pissed off by the middle of the year.
It's admitting that discipline is hard.
Mm.
It's really hard.
Speaking of rhythm, we have to talk about that very speculative cultural comparison that came with the music. The white heartbeat versus the black heartbeat. Okay, so we need to analyze this as a metaphor, right? A metaphor for cultural rhythm, not biology.
Of course.
The source material suggests the white heartbeat is simple. It's just a steady beat. Thump, thump.
But the black heartbeat, as they described it, is loaded. That has drums, an 808 trap beat.
Cymbals, a horn section. They even joke that sometimes the beat has features.
Little dirks on it, yeah. Making doctors need 20 minutes with a stethoscope just to hear everything.
What the contributor is doing is they're using music to describe different speeds of life. We read this as a metaphor for the cultural soundtrack of their life, suggesting a really complex, layered rhythm that you have to listen to carefully.
Which is actually a perfect analytical bridge into our most intense segment, navigating the personal and relationship crises that the holidays can really bring to the surface.
This is where we get into the sensitive calls, people looking for advice on these incredibly complex issues.
First up, the 22-year-old caller. His 19-year-old girlfriend, after helping him through addiction and moving in with him, takes a break.
And gets pregnant by another guy within a week.
The pain in that call was just, you could feel it.
You really could. And what's crucial here is the analysis of the burden he put on her. The host reflected that the caller placed way too many candles on the altar of her for y'all's well-being.
He made her responsible for everything. His recovery, his stability, his happiness.
And that's a role no one person can carry, especially not a 19-year-old.
No.
She became the entire solution to his problems. And when that pressure gets too much, the relationship breaks.
Sometimes it shatters.
And that host's personal reflection after was so key. Admitting he once stayed with a girl he couldn't stand, but also loved.
Because he didn't want her to find a guy who would actually care about her.
That's the real fear, isn't it? The fear of losing control over the other person, even if the relationship is failing.
That self-awareness is so painful, but it's vital. And the advice was clear. It's time to let it go.
Time to stand on your own business of your own feelings in your heart.
To take responsibility for your own emotional state. It's the hardest thing.
Then we had the caller asking for advice on how to propose, which, as the source points out, is the first real moment of a marriage.
You are setting the tone.
For everything.
And the tone you absolutely do not want to set is the one they critiqued. A small house, pit bulls running around, the guy just sort of beckoning her over.
Only for his fiancée to just kill the mood by asking, "Are you going to fart?"
That lack of intention, that failure to create a real moment, it just shows the ritual was lost on him.
Completely. The advice was simple. It requires creativity. It requires respect for the moment.
They offered that extreme, kind of funny alternative for a hunting couple.
Feeding the ring to an animal, hunting it, and then finding the ring in the venison.
A bit much, maybe.
A bit much, but the message is solid. Special moments aren't accidents. You have to engineer them with thought and effort.
That theme of intention, it brings us perfectly to the 18-year-old. Graduated early, already working, but feels this constant, overwhelming rush to get my life together.
And that rush, which is so common, it's all rooted in a desire for control.
Absolute control.
Me own place, me own car, me own pressure washer, me own base boat.
It's this belief that if you acquire things, you'll be safe from future anxiety.
They connect this to that idea. Discipline equals freedom.
Exactly. If you plan early, if you do small, steady things like investing spare change with an app like Acorns, You ease that future pressure bit by bit.
You manage the pressure, you don't eliminate it.
And the prescription for managing the mental speed is meditation.
It lets you achieve that paradox. Going fast, but you're slow on the inside, baby.
You're in control. You got a cockpit. You gain that internal stability you need to move toward your goals without getting overwhelmed.
And we conclude with this just powerful dose of perspective. The call from the soldier driving home for Christmas for the first time in 4 years.
The soldier's perspective, it just recalibrates everything.
Yeah.
He emphasizes the gratitude of just being there, focusing less on a perfect holiday and more on just being present.
Whether it's the good things, like apple pie, or the bad, like uncooked chowder and dysentery, the value is in sharing the moment, whatever it is.
And it's such a critical reminder of sacrifice. Not just his, but the confidence of their spouses who are at home on the front lines with their children.
Doing all the day-to-day parenting, often celebrating over Zoom.
Yeah.
This gratitude connects back to the bigger idea of miracles and the powers of the great beyond, that life itself, just being present for it, is the real miracle.
They recalled those extreme examples. The man who fell 13 stories past his neighbors who were smoking dope on the way down.
And Dalton, who got hit by 2 trains and survived while wearing headphones. Life is so fragile.
So what does this all mean? We started with ghosts and not being able to ask for a hug. We went through childhood rituals, relationship crises, and we found our way to gratitude.
It seems like the deep dive into the Christmas spirit reveals it's found in self-reflection, in owning our own well-being, and in perspective.
And the core truth across all these sources seems to be that excitement, fulfillment, it doesn't just happen.
No, things just aren't exciting. They're not just going to be magic. You got to bring the magic.
Through discipline, through intention.
Exactly.
Except maybe at Christmas.
Yeah.
That's the one time there's something kind of built in. There's this cultural scaffolding of warmth already there for us.
But even that built-in magic gets better if we participate in it.
Yeah.
And that leads to the final provocative thought. It comes from just seeing a candle. A candle is brave, the source noted, because it stands on its own business. It doesn't need anyone else to burn.
Use this season to find that bravery.
And challenge yourself to light a candle, not just for your own light, but for a prayer and peace for somebody else's joy or possibility for a moment that's not mine. Turn your internal stability into a light for other people. That, maybe, is the true discipline that leads to freedom.
Powerful stuff. The music we enjoyed today included Christmas Miracle by One Man Quartet and Ready for Christmas by Zorro. We're going out now with We Wish You a Merry Christmas by Timothy Infinite. Merry Christmas to you all, and we'll see you on the next Deep Dive.